The next chapter is CSV files, and in CSV files, we are going to start with a simple program. The simple program is how to read and write into a CSV file. So first is I can directly create a CSV file. I can do that as you can see in the first line here with open. I've given the file name here and I'm opening it in read mode. So if there is already a file like this, it will open the file. And there are only two functions that we are more concerned about here. I'm creating a reader here. Data is equal to csv.reader. And as like binary files, we had to import pickle. Here I have to say import CSV. So once I do this, the csv.reader will read all the data and put it into the data as a list. Now for each row in that, because I'm storing it as an Excel file, you can imagine CSV file as an Excel file. So for each row in this data, print row, it's going to print me the details. So how do I create a CSV file? So with open, so this is very important because this is a 5-mark question. So a 5-mark question also has only 5 models. So mostly they are only asking you read, write, and search. They are not asking you delete and update. So far they have not asked. So in the 5-mark question, there is a single 1-mark question in your theory paper, which is a simple question like what is the different mode, what is reader, what is writer, what is the difference between CSV file and text file, all those theory questions, which will be covered in the Viva Versailles portion of this book. And the 4 marks is for 2 programs. They can either ask you to read and display or search, or they can ask you to create. Whatever they ask, there's going to be a 2-mark program. So this is your code for 2 marks. This is regarding your theory paper. As far as practical is concerned, each school might decide to have a different situation. Like I've taken a student file. Maybe in your school, they'll be doing an employee file. They can use any file. The logic remains the same. You're going to open the file, use a reader. There's going to be no change except the file name. Same way for writing, one small change I would suggest you to do is, I'm opening it in A mode, append mode, and I'm saying new line is equal to space. Otherwise, there is an empty line being written when you're writing a CSV file if you don't use this. And that will be a problem when you're reading back from the file. So that is the only extra line that you will do. And there is this line, writer. You can see that. Writer is equal to csv.writer, give the file name, and that's all. There's a delimiter and quote here. This is only for the Unicode characters there. Even without that, it will work fine. So what all details you want to write, you're going to take it. You're going to take the roll number, name, and marks, and you can just say writer.writeRow. There is also a writer.writeRows function. So we can use both of them. In this question, I've just used writeRows. We'll run this program. So I still haven't created a file, so I will maybe do 2. Let me try first 1. There is nothing there, so it's not printing anything for me. Let me give 2, enter roll number. I'm giving a name and my marks. Now I'll press 1. It is giving me back the data. So this is your first exercise of CSV files. The second exercise in your CSV files is a simple login application. You can see that it is a search in a CSV file. So we are assuming there is already a file which is there, which is login.csv, and it has some details like your username and password. So we are going to only read from here. And while reading, to be on a safer side, we are doing a strip function. We know that the strip function will remove all the spaces. So we just don't want any extra space while reading. So there are going to be 2 fields. There is a row 0 and row of 1. So 0 will have the username. You're checking the username with the username, and you're checking the password with the password. And if both are matching, you're going to say login is successful. Otherwise, you're going to just say user does not exist. You can modify this. You can check and say whether the username alone is right, password alone is wrong, something like that. You can do whatever you want. So we'll run this program also. So my username, I don't know what is stored there. User does not exist. Let me go to that location and check. So there is a C drive. Inside Pavitra. There's a login.csv. So I have given 3 names here. It is AAA and 111, BBB. So we will just try that now. So I'll run this program again. It's AAA and 111. username, login is successful. So it's a very straightforward question here. You can see that it's a simple program and it is in your syllabus. So it's in your, as part of your practical syllabus, this program is given. So we have created a login application using a CSV file in the second exercise. This is your program for updation. So we finished off searching. Now we are coming to updation. So for updating, first is I'm opening this with, this is the same code as we did before. We are opening it in read mode. We are checking for each row in data. In the first program, we just set print row. We are not saying print row. Instead, we are checking if the roll number that we want to update is there. If it is so, we are asking the marks to be updated. So, and then we are going to change it now. We are going to say rows dot append of row. So irrespective of whatever it is, the row is going to get appended to the rows. Either it is going to be changed and appended, or without changing, we are going to append it. So throughout a found is false. That is, if the record is not there, we are going to say student is not found. Now, once this is done, like the same logic we use for binary files, I'm going to again open this file in write mode, which means I'm going to erase all the contents of the file. And whatever now we have changed, I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to overwrite it there. So then again, I'm going to print it. So this is the same logic as your binary files. So I know that I don't know what roll number is there. So let's go there and check. It's 2.csv, right? So let's check what roll number is there. There is a and so 1 Pavitra 90. Okay. We just added one record, right? So we will go there and marks. So let me make it 99. The file is open. So let's first close it and then come back to this. This is what it means. So the file is already open. So let's run again. So update. So 11 marks. It has been updated. Now the details have been updated. So this is regarding your update function. Let's open up. The next thing is delete. It's very, very similar to your update. So let's open that file. So lab exercise 4. So here the same logic, we are going to get the roll number to delete. The only change there, it was update. We are getting it to delete here. We are reading it. We are checking it. Then if we find it, we are just saying found equal to true, and otherwise, if it is not there, we are going to append it. The same logic as binary files, we are going to add it to the rows only if it is not equal to this roll number. If it is equal, I am changing it as found is equal to true. Else, only else I need not do this. I can just say else here. Else rows dot append of row. So I'm checking if found is equal to false, then I'm saying student is not found. Then the same logic as what we did before, right? So we are going to say we are opening it in write mode. We are overwriting the entire file, and whatever is now in this new rows, that alone I'm appending to my record. So otherwise it's the same thing with open, same logic as you read. Maybe we can just have a function called display and keep on calling that again and again. It will give you the same result. So let's run this. So I have only one record there. So let me delete that record. It is gone. So mostly now this file should be empty for me, right? So this is regarding your the lab exercise file is using a dict reader. So dict reader is another way of using it. It is not there in your syllabus, but I have just included this exercise because this is one of the important concepts of Python for you. So I'm just saying instead of writer or reader, I'm using dict reader here. The idea is it is being stored as a dictionary. So I'm going to print it. I'm writing it inside. I'm creating itself. I'm creating it like a dictionary. So it will definitely have a key and a value pair. So this makes the organization a little better. The data will be a little better organized. Let me create, enter the state name, TN, population. So already there is one record, so it is displaying the record also, right? So this is dictated, it's just there for your practice. So this is the last program, last exercise of the CSV files. You can see here that I'm starting with the create file, which is same as your student application. I have used an employee here for you. So you can use anything here. It could be a book, it could be anything else. But first is I'm creating, I'm opening it in append mode. And I'm getting the employee number, name, salary, and I'm just write row. I'm just saying writer dot write row. And I'm asking if there are more details, I'm keeping on adding it. So every time I'm adding details, it's getting added to my added inside. Now, once this is done, I'm coming to my display. So I'm opening the file and I'm just beautifying it. That's all. I'm just giving a header there wherein I'm giving the spacing correctly so that it gets displayed beautifully there. So I'm giving a 10 spacing for employee number, 20 spacing for the employee name, and 10 spacing for the salary here. So for each row, I can just say print row, but instead I'm using the same spacing and printing it so that it gets printed on exactly below the heading. That's all. It's just a beautification thing. You can always say print row here. Now there's an extra thing here as a small functionalities. I'm going to also display the employees whose salary limit is exceeding a certain limit. So that is why the function says here, I'm checking if the row of 2, which is the salary field, if it is greater than a limit, then the employee is getting more than such salary is this. This is the logic behind this program. So let me run the program. So let's first try to display. So there is already details here. There is one employee, 2 employees are there, and there is a, let's say, display employee. Salary limit, let's say I want people who are getting more than 1,000. So there's only one. The count is only getting displayed here. The way this program is designed is to display all the employees who are, if I want to see how many people are getting more than 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, I can then as well use this function. So I can always create this. I can create a new record by using the one option here.